Andy T, one of our regulars at the Weegamers and the Bunker Club, you know, when we were able to do stuff like that, is, after my own heart, another terrain fanatic. He does love his terrain, don't we all? This gargantuan box of stuff. I mean, just let me hold this up for a second. This is a good bag of spuds in terms of weight and size. It's massive. Acid House terrain. The last time I played with Acid House must have been the late 80s. However, now apparently they seem to be in Spain and make terrain. I suppose after the club scene went, what else were they going to do? I don't think it's the same Acid House. Card terrain, fancy card terrain, lots and lots of fancy card terrain. We've seen stuff like this before, sure. We've seen stuff like this in Infinity and whatnot, but we are led to believe that this is the evolution of it. It can resist more weight, it can resist some dampness, water being splashed on it and stuff like that. I honestly don't think in the current lockdown setup that I've got the space to do this justice, nor do I think it's completely fair to take the fun away from Andy and go building his massive box of terrain. So we'll open it up, we'll have a look at it, we'll build a couple of pieces to see what it's like, and we will populate the rest of this video with some stuff from that Kickstarter. Now, surprisingly enough, this Kickstarter didn't do as well as I thought it would have done when this got handed to me in a disreputable car park. 45k in euros. I don't know what that is in real money. It's something like 44 grand or whatever. They had a target of 25, so they kind of doubled it ish. I just sort of thought stuff like this would have been more popular. Maybe the time that it landed at, maybe the price point, I don't know. I'm glad they made their goal and they were obviously able to make their stuff. And I kind of regret not getting it myself. It is most amusing, that little jump in the footage was because the camera keeps reading the QR code and want to try and open the website. At least we know that works. So designed to also boost game lore, this new industrial terrain set has a great variety of structures and textures. Great detailing adds depth and richness to every game, giving each battle its own story. Okay, that's just blurb. That doesn't actually mean anything. This box contains 8 big buildings, 8 medium buildings, 8 small buildings, 8 bridges, 8 high acid tanks, 8 telecom access points, 8 pipe control points, 8 ventilation shafts, 12 terrain tiles. Okay, so there's terrain tiles in here as well. Cool. And 40 board joints. Covers up to a 4x4 table. All contents copyright Acid House. Instructions in YouTube and made in the EU. And certainly when you look at that board, there's a fair whack of stuff on there. Almost makes me think of like an epic city, but I think those are supposed to be like ventilation towers or something rather than tiny tower blocks. So let's try and get this open without wrecking it. And also without the QR code appearing on the screen again. Wow. It's tight. It's very tight. Smoke me a kipper. There we go. Kind of want to keep that good for him too. Wow. What is this made of? Jeepers, right? Slightly speechless. Kind of. I don't quite know what I expected. I think I just thought it would be better packed. It's not badly packed, but it does have the feeling of just being thrown in there. So okay, let's sort of as best we can. I don't think Andy would mind us opening all this, but, you know. So this is like an air conditioning unit by the looks of things. Can we slide one of these out? This is a little air conditioning unit. And I'm not sure what they were talking about. Textures, visually, yes. I mean, and I think looking at the camera, that has the right sense of depth. There is more of a 3D look to the artwork than I have seen maybe previously in some of this stuff before. So this then pops like that, and then this is obviously going to slide into something, or there's another part to it because we've got like color-coded tabs here to go into something else. Okay, so we'll keep one of those out in case we find what it goes into. Oh, these have all fallen out, which is handy for us. So what have we got here? What are these? This is number 82, which I think on the back of the packet was actually telling us what things were, wasn't it? 82. It's ventilation shafts. Well, they keep you handy. So that is quite stiff card in there. I'm not sure if it's, I don't think it's an insert. I think it is built into it. Okay, so where in the past we might have seen this outer layer as being the card terrain that we would have got in like a starter set or something, this has an inner wall pre-built, pre-glued into it. Press here to fold. Well, we did. Not sure what else you want us to do. I think you're just supposed to be a shaft. Not sure if it wants us to go somewhere. 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure what that means. That's definitely one to look up the instructions on. It's not instantly crystal clear what that instruction means. If that particular piece feels very solid, these do feel very, very solid. But some more bits have fallen out here. These are number 23. 23 is 23 is not mentioned on that back where I was looking at other things. Press here to fold. Unless they mean for putting away. 68, isn't it? It's not 86. What? Where did I get 23? I have no idea. Maybe those are... Let's see what 68 is. 68 is Telecom access points. Okay, I can almost read. I read good. Honestly, I do. So that must slide onto something else to give us a telephone access point. These must slide onto other things to become this. Okay, I'll buy that for $1. There's a lot of them, and they're just lying about in here. So these are like the other boxes, but smaller. So definitely have lots of plug-in bits going on here. There's these things obviously slide into other stuff to be then useful and cool. They feel very, there's a shininess to them, but it's not a glossy shiny. They've got some sort of coating on them, which I'm guessing is where this waterproof aspect is coming from. Wow, that's a weird package. It's just about held together. So yeah, I actually touched that thinking there was going to be texture to it. It looked convincing enough that I thought it was like embossed or something. So these are like the other cubes that we got. These ones have fold out bits at the bottom, or that's the top. So we've got like reactor boxes and whatnot going on here. And it's nice in that it's cleanish, but it's not pristine. It's kind of got that Star Wars lived in look going on with it. There's a whole pile of stuff in this bundle though. Those all seem to be the same sort of thing. And then we've got these towers. So these are the ones we've seen on the front. So these are like coolant towers or something, or reactor towers. And I've got the feeling that this, I was going to say I've got the feeling that this is the bottom, now I've got the feeling that this is the top. I'm sort of wondering, do other things... I know I could go and look at the instructions. I can almost feel you saying it to me, go and look at the instructions. I can talk to you or look at instructions. Those are my choices. No, that just slides right up inside. At some point, this is going to be like Buckaroo, and that's just going to tip, isn't it? So we got more boxes. I think we're going to see lots of box shapes. So those are orange of seemingly the same thing as the purple, but longer. So these are more rectangular. Yep. But it's the same sort of pattern repeating there. For those, just a different shape. And again, same sort of thing. Rectangular versions, slightly longer again. Okay, what have I got in this here? These are obviously these, I'm going to guess these are these connector pieces that we're talking about for the baseboards. They're just like compressed card. So open envelope of those. We got more of these kind of aircon walkways. These ones are longer or taller. And I'm starting to think that this is sort of telling you these are the coloured join up areas for other things to slide onto them. That's what logic's telling me. Logic could be wrong. Now you got to bear in mind, I haven't looked in this box yet. So if I sound kind of despondent, it's not despondency. It's mild bewilderment. Because if this was mine, I'd have obviously gone and looked and watched the YouTube video and stuff like that. But when you do that, that kind of allows you to know what's going to be inside the box. Sometimes it takes away a little bit of excitement. The excitement has been slightly sucked away by just mild bewilderment. But it's not disappointment. So we got more of these little boxes. These are very tiny sort of things. These don't look like they go anywhere or do anything. These look like they're supposed to be flat. They are hollow, but there's no natural, there is a natural bend just there. Just there. It's very small and they are really quite stiff. There we go. So there's lots of like sliding on bits going on here, but it's not just leaping out at me to sort of say, well, here's how the sliding on bits work. Let's see, does anything else become more apparent if I look at some of these? Okay, these are just big versions of it. This is really weird. I'm seeing the fact of shapes, but I'm not. My brain isn't seeing how these become roofs or floors or anything like that. There, I'm just kind of like looking at it a little bit confused. Maybe as we go deeper. So what do we find here? Because these bend in three to become pipes. So these bits there's tabs here for these to bend so that these pipes become visible. And I'm going to say that they are part of this. Because this has weird angles going on with it. And you nearly get the impression that that could slide if that was bent. Would that slide in there? It might do. It might fold down to give us kind of a track that goes in there. It's like a voyage of discovery together, but we're not finding anything out. Okay, more kind of slidey on edge boxes. More kind of slidey on edge boxes is what I'm seeing. This is just sort of the vibe I get from it. Loads and loads of these small boxes, and then, wow, okay, more of those pipes, but done with fold down tabs again. And then loads of small bits just lying about in here. And then we've got baseboards. A lot of baseboards. Let's have a look at one of these. So that's nice. Like that. See where the tabs joined it up. Double-sided. Okay, can live with that too. And by the looks of things, a fairly nice variation. Ooh, sorry camera. Oops. That's a repeat. One side mostly a repeat, one side different on them all-ish. Variations on the theme, I think. Yep. And again, it's got that kind of Infinity 40k sort of feel going on with it there. I think we're just going to get more of the same, but there's enough we know to cover a 4x4. And a little bit getting stuck. But as I look at this, I'm completely bewildered as to how this actually builds. I think I've got it. I think I've got it. Just looking at one of the pictures, I think I've got it. So let's go back to this one, okay? So we've got this that we thought slid round stuff, okay? And we lifted that little box out right at the start, this thing here, okay? Now, if I'm right, this actually stays in. They're not tabs to go anywhere at all. And I think this goes down inside. Like that. There we go. Okay. That's fairly clever. I like that. That's now got a huge amount of resistance to it because of the shape of it. So let's see. Take one of our big rectangles, okay, which is fairly standard. It's soft card. This one is much more, as I kind of would have expected everything to be, that nice kind of soft, nice card, but you know, floppy. So I'm going to bend those down in, and the fact that these are green tabs, I'm going to lift one of these green tabbed boxes. I'm not going to bend it in the shape, I'm putting it down in, and now I'm going to press it out. Maybe I'm going to bend it down first. It's snug, but it goes in. Oh, and I pushed it the whole way through because I forgot that it was not on the ground. There. Okay. So, yeah, they're fancy boxes, they're clever fancy boxes. The really stiff, rigid one is the insert, gives overall wall strength, fairly good roof strength, and then you can stack. And that's how it all goes. Small boxes go inside bigger boxes. Just some of them I'm not convinced about. I don't want to damage them. So those don't go into those. So if that's the inside, what's it the inside of? What that the inside of? Just sort of wonder. Ah, right, okay, yeah. Maybe this is it. Yellow and yellow. If the idea works the same. Yellow and yellow. Down in. Keep the tabs down. Push it real good. And there we go. We've got our Telecom's access point. Like so. We didn't need the instructions, we just needed to look at a picture slightly better and pause for breath. And wow, that simple moment of now I get it. Now I get it is nice. That's really clever. And then boom, I'm packing up, I'm going back home. We've had our game. Slide it out the bottom. Everything comes out the bottom because that way there's no resistance. And I can lift my tabs if I need to. Whatever works. Bang bang bosh. There we go. Like that. I can live with that. So yeah. We just need to find a nice way to pack it up for Andrew so that nothing gets damaged. But I will worry about that in my time rather than your time, okay? There we go. That's the Acid House card terrain. They are on the Tinternet. You can go ahead and order from them to the best of my knowledge, though they are in Spain. Not saying that in a case of hold it against them. I'm just saying that's where they are. So just bear in mind postage and stuff. Kickstarter campaign is over. Want to know when it's getting printed again? Send us your email. Yes, sign me up. Okay, so you maybe can't just buy it at the minute. You have to wait for the next one. Visit the Kickstarter page. Take a look around. Ultra, like the fact they call it ultralight. Take it around. They are calling this massive box that is like hawking a bag of spuds round as, and I quote from their website, ultra light. Yes, it's ultra light compared to a big box of terrain that would be required to cover a 4x4 table. But it is not ultra light in its own sense of the word ultra light. Not like a little plane or something. Why a little plane? I have no idea. But yeah, if you go on there to acidhouseterrain.com, you will see plenty of printed examples of it in use and whatnot. They've got all sorts of things there. Nids and Chaos Marines and Adeptus Mechanicus and yeah, Titans and stuff striding around it. All manner of stuff, mostly 40k stuff, fun enough. I would have thrown in, especially since you're in Spain, boys, I would have thrown in some Infinity for your fellow countrymen and whatnot. But there we go. I will still have chucked up a few pictures onto the page for you to get a little look at as well. And there we are. That's fairly nice. I can understand why Torrens went for it. I quite like it. If I was offered it at the right price, yes, I'd probably take it. I think I'll stand by. I didn't go for the Kickstarter because I didn't need a sci-fi card Terrain City, but I kind of look at this and think, you know what, the baseboards and all quite nice. There's a lot of mileage you can get it in for other things. Could probably, in hindsight, have used this for the likes of the Judge Dredd miniature games, stuff like that there. So yeah, there's a little bit of but Torrance has got it, so we'll get to play on it anyway eventually. There we go. Alright, hope you found that interesting. Tried to keep it under the 30 minutes for you, and I think we have delivered on that. As always, any thoughts, any feedback, maybe you've got this, give us a comment down below, let us know what you think of it. And yeah, there we go. Enjoy, and we'll catch you again in another one. Bye-bye.